Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Please like, share and subscribe my channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. The ant and the grasshopper. One summer afternoon, a grasshopper was hopping about in a field. He was singing merrily and enjoying the day. On his way, he met an ant who was struggling to take a grain of corn to her nest. The grasshopper was a lazy fellow. He thought he had nothing to do. So, when he saw the ant, he said, "Why don't you come and chat with me instead of toiling so hard? We will have a great time. I'm trying to collect and store food for the winter. I can't waste time being idle." "I think you should start saving food for winter too," said the ant. The grasshopper yawned and said, "Winter is too far away. There is plenty of time. Why worry about it today when I have more than enough to eat?" But the ant went on her way and continued to work hard. Days passed, then months. The grasshopper enjoyed himself and the ant collected enough food for the winter. When the winter came, the leaves had fallen and the grass was dry. The grasshopper had nothing to eat. It started to snow and he had nowhere to go. He thought he would die of hunger and cold. On the other hand, the ant was enjoying the fruits of her hard work. She had a nice and cozy home and plenty to eat. Then the grasshopper regretted not working hard when he should have. Suddenly he remembered the ant and thought, "I shall go to the ant's house and ask her for food and shelter." So he went to the ant's house and knocked at the door. The ant looked at the grasshopper and said, "All summer long I worked hard while you made fun of me. You should have thought of winter then." After a discussion, Ant invited him into her house. She served him food. Now he had learned to think ahead and plan for the future. Moral of the story is, work hard today and you can reap the benefits tomorrow. The thirsty crow. It was a hot day. A crow was very thirsty. He looked for water here and there. At last, he saw a water pot with little water in it. He thought of a plan. He collected some pebbles and threw them into the water pot, one by one. The water came up. The crow drank the water and flew happily. Moral of the story is, where there is a will, there is a way. The tortoise and the hare. A tortoise used to move very slowly. A hare often laughed at him. One day, the tortoise challenged the hare to run a race with him. The race started. The hare ran very fast. Soon he was far ahead of the tortoise. As the hare approached the winning post, he thought, there is no need to finish the race right now. I shall sit here under the tree and wait for the tortoise. When he comes here, I shall run fast and cross the winning post before he does. This will make him angry and then I will have lots of fun. So the hare sat under a tree. The tortoise was still far behind. After some time, the hare fell asleep. When he woke up, he saw the tortoise crossing the winning post. The hare had lost the race. Moral of the story is slow and steady wins the race. The fox and the crow. Once upon a time, there was a crow. He had a piece of meat. A hungry fox came there. His mouth watered when he saw the piece of meat. He thought of a plan to get it. He praised the voice of crow. The fox said him to sing a song. When the crow opened his mouth to sing, the piece of meat fell down. The fox ate it and went away. Moral of the story is beware of flatter. The talkative tortoise. Once upon a time, two geese by the names of Harry and Jerry and a tortoise by the name of Kelly lived near a river. They were good friends. Once, due to drought in the region, all the rivers, lakes, and ponds went dry. There was not a drop of water to drink for the birds and animals. They began to die of thirst. But beside their best efforts, they could not find water anywhere around. The three friends talked among themselves to find a solution to this problem and go out in search of water. Having no alternative, the three friends decided to go to some distant lake full of water to settle down there forever. But there was a problem in shifting to so distant a place. While it was easy for the geese to fly, it was difficult for the tortoise to cover that distance on foot. So the tortoise put up a bright idea. He said, "Why not bring a strong stick? I will hold the stick in the middle with my teeth, and you two hold both the ends of the stick in your beaks. In this manner, I can also travel with you." Hearing the suggestion of the tortoise, the geese cautioned him. "It is very good idea. We will do as you say, but you will have to be very careful. The problem with you is that you are very talkative. And if you open your mouth to say something while we are flying, it will definitely prove to be detrimental to you. So, don't talk while you are dangling by the stick, otherwise, you will lose your hold and go crashing down on the ground and die." The tortoise understood the logic and promised not to open his mouth during the entire journey. So the geese held the stick ends in their beaks and the tortoise held the stick in the middle with his teeth, and thus they began their long journey. They flew over hills, valleys, villages, forests, and finally came over a town. While they were flying over the town, men, women, and children came out of their houses to see this strange sight. The children began shouting and clapping. The foolish tortoise forgot that he was hanging precariously. He became so curious to know the reason behind these clappings that he opened his mouth to ask his friends, "Friends, what is this all about?" But as soon as he opened his mouth to utter these words, he loosened his hold on the sticks and fell down on the ground and died. Moral of the story is always listen to friendly advices. The greedy dog. Once upon a time, there was a dog. He was very hungry. He got a piece of meat. He reached at a stream. He saw his reflection in the water. He thought another dog with a piece of meat. He wanted to get it. He opened his mouth. He lost his own piece of meat. Moral of the story is greed is curse. The stag and his antlers. Once upon a time, there lived a stag in a dense forest. One day, he went to a nearby lake to quench his thirst. There, he saw his reflection in the water and thought to himself, I have got beautiful antlers, but my legs are ugly. I can't understand why God has given me such thin legs. Just then he heard a lion roaring at a short distance. The stag knew that if he stayed there, the lion will kill him. So he started running. The lion too started chasing the stag. The stag ran faster and faster, and soon he outdistanced the lion. But all of a sudden, the antlers of the stag got entangled with the overhanging branches of a tree. The stag struggled hard, but could not free his antlers from the branches. He thought to himself, my thin legs helped me get away from the danger, but my antlers proved dangerous for me. By that time, the lion had already reached there. He pounced upon the stag and killed him. Moral of the story is a beautiful thing might not be useful also, or all that glitters is not gold. The ugly duckling. Once upon a time, there was a duck in the forest. One day, she laid some eggs. After warming them carefully, the duck waited for the eggs to hatch. As she watched, 5 of her eggs cracked and 5 lovely ducklings came into the world. Mother duck was overjoyed, but the largest egg was still there. At last, the great egg burst, but it was large, grey. The ugly duckling was hated by his brothers and sisters. They would often mock at him. The ugly duckling felt so sad. One day he ran away from home. Walking alone, the ugly duckling came upon a house. As he peeped inside, he saw an old woman sitting idle. At her foot sat a cat and a hen. Suddenly, the woman noticed the duckling. Away from here, you ugly duckling, she said. The duckling ran out of the house. Once again, the poor duckling went walking sadly. He spent the rest of his day and night crying all alone. He felt lonely and miserable, but the ugly duckling was hopeful in his heart. Winter had started and cold wind had started to blow. Due to cold weather, the pond had frozen. Now the ugly duckling could not swim. A little while later, a kind farmer happened to pass that way. Taking pity on the duckling's miserable condition, he took him home. The farmer nursed the duckling, and soon the bird was well. Then the farmer left the duckling in the pond. One day, the duckling saw the beautiful swan around him. The duckling was ashamed of himself and bent his head low. He saw beneath the water his own reflection. It was the reflection of a swan. He was no longer a grey, ugly bird. The duckling was amazed. Actually, he had grown into a beautiful swan. Those beautiful swans were his brothers and sisters. The ugly duckling remembered how everyone used to ignore him. The ugly duckling now heard the swan say that he was the most beautiful among them. Now he was no more the ugly duckling. A bundle of sticks. Once upon a time, there was a farmer. He had 3 sons. They always quarreled. One day, the farmer brought a bundle of sticks. He ordered his sons to break it, but they failed. Then he untied the bundle. He again ordered his sons to break the sticks. Now they broke them easily. He told them that union is strength. Moral of the story is union is strength. Thanks a billion for watching. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.